team's obviously off to Sydney for a couple of weeks. What are you hoping to get out of this wee trip?
I think it's going to be a great tour for us. At the same time, we get 3 very good games, very competitive games over in Sydney. I think it'll be good for a change of scenery as well for the players. Pre-season is very long, as you know, in the A-League, so looking forward to those games we have over there.
A return to Sydney FC for yourself, and also a test against the defending champions. Is that a big clash, I guess, considering the team's played just some kind of amateur opposition in the last few weeks?
Yeah, look, it's going to be great for us to see where we're at, to play quality opposition, and I think it's going to be good for our boys to see where they're at individually as well. So, like I said, looking forward to these 3 competitive games that we have.
And you welcome back Louis Fenton from injury on the weekend. It's good to have him back because, I guess a few weeks ago we weren't sure when he was going to come back.
Yeah, it's good. He's progressed quite well and quite happy with where he's at, and slowly progressing him. No rush in that sense. We just want to make sure he's completely right and 100% to play and be competitive again.
And how's the search for that final striker going?
It's going well. It's going well. There's a lot of communication with agents at this stage. For me, it's very important that we find the right one. This is the last piece of the puzzle, and he has to suit in the way that we want to do things, like I've said, and he needs to add as well.
Was it a case of waiting for the transfer windows to close in Europe? Does that make things a bit easier now?
It does and it doesn't at the same time. There's players that will probably, the teams in Europe now will settle, and the teams and players will know where they stand amongst those teams as well, so there might be opportunities to loan some quality players.
So yeah, that could be an option, loaning?
It could be an option, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll look at both options to bring in, to buy, and also to loan as well.
And is there good interest from the other side? Like, are there players who are willing to come over here?
Yeah, there's still a lot of list of players that are willing to come out this side, like I said. But for me, it's most important that he adds balance to our strike force up top. Yeah,
because you've said all along. Yeah, you're happy to kind of wait for the right player. Would you ideally have wanted them to be here for this trip to Sydney?
It would have been great to have him here for this Sydney trip to get him involved with the team. But sometimes it's just the way it works, and if he comes after the Sydney trip, it's no problem. We'll get him ready for the season.
And how's Reno settled in? We've seen him.
Good. He's progressing well. He had a bit of a calf injury when he came in, so he's progressing well, and hopefully we can get him some game time in Sydney.
Cool. Just over those games coming up, I mean, how close to your best 11 are you going to be putting out there, or are you still tinkering with things?
Look, at this stage, I think we'll put out our best team as possible. Everyone's available to and has been training in the last couple of weeks, so we'll put out our strongest team, and everyone will get game time whilst we're over there. At the same time, I'll give the players all an opportunity to show what they can do, and then when we come back, we'll have a better idea of where we stand with our strongest 11.
And you just mentioned the word puzzle there. I mean, how satisfied are you with your puzzle? You essentially started from scratch here. One more spot to go. How do you feel about your puzzle as it is now?
Very good, very confident. I think we brought in players that suit the way that I want to play, with the attributes that they have. Like I said, this last piece is very important because it's a player up front that we need consistency and that can execute what we do and basically score goals as well and win us games. So for me, I'm very happy with the players that we brought in. We've got a lot of energy with the youth and a lot of experience with the senior players and the visa players, so I think we've got a great balance.
If the season started this week, how confident would you be in your team to compete in the A-League?
Well, we'll compete. We'll always be competitive. I've got no issues about that. Running, fighting and kicking is a given in football. It's, for me, I wanted to bring in players that are tactically also smart and can change and adapt within the game as well.
In terms of getting quality fixtures for the pre-season, has it been hard while you've been here in New Zealand?
It's been, no disrespect to anybody, it's been a little bit difficult in the sense that the games have been great for minutes in the legs, but at the same time getting a little bit more challenge would probably been better for us at the same time, and that's why when we go out into these games, we play these games always focused on what we do and how we do things regardless of the result, because result isn't important in these games. For me, it's more about the performance and the players' understanding of what we need to do to become better.
And was it just through your relationship with Sydney FC that was the obvious kind of place to go? Or?
No, they had this fixture last year as well. We played Wellington Phoenix whilst I was at Sydney last year for pre-season, and obviously the way things pan out with teams getting knocked out of the FFA Cup, everyone wants a game, so it was a great opportunity to play against Sydney as well.
And I think you're taking Sam Sutton on the trip. He seems to have been playing well in the last couple of weeks. Is it good to see a young guy like that who's probably trying to put his hand up for a contract?
Yeah, it's good for me. Look, Suts has been going very good, and like I said, when we look at players, we look at young players at what they can't do, and we look at senior players at what they can do. You know, and I'm a big believer that age is just a number. It's about what they do out there on the park, and he's shown that he can mix it up with the boys, and he's doing very well, and he's progressing very well, and the opportunity will be there for him to take.
And will these be kind of the last pre-season hit-outs against A-League opposition, or will there be something in the pipeline for you there?
Well, there's still something in the background happening at this stage, but we'll go to Sydney first, and we'll get these games under our belt, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, and just finally for me, is it good to just have that 2 weeks away with the team in pre-season as sort of a bonding exercise, especially with so many new players?
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good for the boys to. I think 10 days is enough. Otherwise, I think they'll start to go crazy after 10 days. But I think 10 days is a good time to be away. A good opportunity for the boys to be together 24/7, work together, and have competitive games.
Just in terms of the competition here in the pre-season and the challenges that you want, and you obviously want to play more quality sides, would it change how you set up next pre-season?
Well, the thing is, in football, you always got to reflect and look back and what you've done, and even for me during the week after a game is, did we do well, did we win, or we lost the game, why did we lose the game? So in football and as a coach, you always need to reflect on what you've done. So we'll look at this pre-season once we start the season and how things went, and do we need to change things for next season.
Are there any, I guess, set rules that you need to play certain teams here in Wellington, certain teams from here? Or?
There's no set rules. I think the thing is, in pre-season at the start, you don't want to play teams that are peaking. Well, you do, but at the same time, you want it to be challenging. And we know where we are as a fitness level as well when you first come into pre-season. So the longer the pre-season goes on, the more challenging games that you want.